Flight delays are hitting U.S. airports a week into the government shutdown. That's where we're starting the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Wednesday, October 8th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. It is day 8 of the shutdown, and the effects are being felt across the country, including at airports. Staffing shortages have delayed flights in several U.S. cities this week. On Monday, FAA advisories showed there were no air traffic controllers at Hollywood Burbank Airport in California. Newark, Phoenix, and Denver airports were also hit by staffing issues. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said Monday there had been a slight tick-up in sick leave calls. But in a statement, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association said it is not unusual for people to call in sick. And it emphasized that the vast majority of controllers remain on the job, even though they are not being paid during the shutdown. Meanwhile, around 750,000 federal workers are not working. They've been sent home on furlough and are expecting to get back pay for their time off work. But yesterday, a White House official argued that the law guaranteeing back pay to furloughed workers, which President Donald Trump signed in 2019, actually does no such thing. That's according to a draft memo obtained by the Post. Trump hinted yesterday at a compromise to end the shutdown, but Democrats and Republicans have not made a deal just yet. Number 2. The Supreme Court appears ready to overturn a ban on conversion therapy. Conversion therapy is treatment intended to change the identity or behavior of gay and transgender people. Most studies have shown that the practice is unsafe and ineffective. It's restricted in nearly 30 states. Yesterday, justices heard arguments about a ban on conversion therapy for gay and transgender minors in Colorado. A majority of the justices appeared skeptical of the ban. They thought it could infringe on the free speech rights of therapists. The lawsuit under consideration was filed by Kaylee Childs, a Christian therapist, in 2022. She explained her argument to PBS NewsHour on Monday.
It's truly that we can have a conversation without the government peering into our private counseling conversation and dictating what we can and cannot talk about.
Timothy Schrader Rodriguez is a writer who was outside the court yesterday. He explained his support for bans on conversion therapy.
I spent 8 years in conversion therapy trying to change who I was and really just trying to change something that didn't need to be changed in the first place. And so I wanted to be here today just to show my support and to voice the fact that conversion therapy harms young people, it harms people's faith, and it ultimately has been discredited by every major medical association.
The court's decision is expected by the end of its term next summer. President Trump keeps talking about invoking the Insurrection Act. That's number 3. The Insurrection Act is a centuries-old law that enables the president to deploy the military on U.S. soil in extraordinary circumstances, like to quell an insurrection, civil disorder, or armed rebellion. It has not been invoked since riots in Los Angeles in 1992 and has not been used without the consent of a state's governor for 60 years. But on Monday, Trump said he would invoke it if, quote, governors and mayors were holding us up. Trump is pushing to send troops to more Democrat-led cities, but is being met with lawsuits. He has raised the prospect of invoking the Insurrection Act several times in the past, but he has never formally done it. Whether or not he does, Trump has been deploying and seeking to deploy troops on U.S. soil in unprecedented ways. Number 4. The Trump administration intervened to rescue a Palestinian woman from Gaza. Ahlam Farwana is the mother of a U.S. citizen who serves in the U.S. Navy. A few weeks ago, she was secretly evacuated from war-torn Gaza. It came after an intervention by the Trump administration and required an extraordinary collaboration between the U.S., Israeli, and Jordanian governments. The operation entailed a coordinated pause in Israeli military strikes to safeguard Furwana's movements. Her case illustrates the extreme difficulty of orchestrating a legal exit from the Gaza Strip. The children and spouses of U.S. citizens have frequently seen their requests for evacuations from Gaza denied. The U.S. has more readily supported humanitarian resettlements from war zones like Ukraine and Afghanistan. A coastal storm could bring heavy rain and strong winds to the East Coast. That's number one. This developing storm will be called Karen, so get your jokes ready now. Its impacts could be felt from the Carolinas to the mid-Atlantic and New England later this week or over the weekend. This coastal storm could even blow Storm Jerry, another storm which is expected to turn into a hurricane today, away from the U.S. But not before Jerry gets pretty close to the far northern Leeward Islands in the Caribbean, where tropical storm watches are in place. There is a chance that the potential storm Karen, meanwhile, will spawn further offshore. That would spare the East Coast its worst impacts, but forecasters think that scenario is least likely. You can look at all the possible scenarios at the link in our newsletter today. Find that in our show notes. Number 6. Americans have become more pessimistic about AI. Half of American adults are more concerned than excited about the growing use of artificial intelligence in daily life. That's according to a recent Pew Research survey. It's a jump from 2022, when only 38% of people felt that way. A few theories could explain this shift. ChatGPT became available for public use in late 2022, which gave more people access to the technology. Some might be disappointed by its limitations. Others have more existential fears that the technology is damaging our ability to form human relationships. And some people just find it annoying that they have to use AI whether they like it or not, in the workplace or when they try to look something up online. And at number 7, Bob Ross is helping fund public television from beyond the grave. If you have never zoned out in front of an old Bob Ross video, you've been missing out. The gentle-voiced painter and art instructor rose to fame in the 80s and 90s, hosting The Joy of Painting on PBS.
See here? And you just paint a bigger tree right over the top. We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
The beloved painter died in 1995, but his legacy lived on. The Joy of Painting saw a resurgence of popularity during the coronavirus pandemic, and now auctions will start next month to sell dozens of his paintings. The money raised will help fund stations run by American Public Television and PBS. It comes at a critical time for public television. Earlier this year, Congress stripped $1.1 billion in federal funding for public broadcasters at the urging of President Trump. If you would like to bid on an original Bob Ross, you can browse some of the paintings for sale at the link in our newsletter today. Or maybe they will inspire you to paint your own happy little trees.
Double A's?
All right, you're all caught up. But before you go, a reminder that if you're a subscriber to the Washington Post, you can get access to our shows ad-free in Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
All you have to do is find the Washington Post channel in Apple Podcasts and connect your Post subscription. Then stay tuned for more subscriber-only audio benefits, like exclusive and early access episodes. If you're not a subscriber, this is a great time to start. You can sign up at our channel in Apple Podcasts or through the link in our show notes. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.
They're in there.